Ironman type spirit, the Ironman type training and lifestyle into grade school kids, high school kids, whomever you choose. And what these two guys did was in Santa Ana, California, went into a classroom at, it was at a middle school?
It was
Middle school, went into a classroom and put together a program called SMART, S-M-A-R-T, with the students there. So I'm going to let Dave kind of say how you guys had the idea of putting this together because you wanted to see something done at that level, at that age level, at the middle school, that kids could improve themselves. And what were the ways you did that with?
Well, we originally wanted to try to do something for some students to talk about our Ironman experience that was a little bit different than just going in and talking about what we did. So we found a school that would allow us to come in and do this program and gave us the opportunity to put together a whole classroom presentation for the students. And so that's how we actually got started in the program. We knew the physical education teacher and we presented a course outline to her. She loved it and said, come on in, we really want to try this. She had a health and fitness class of 8th graders, and that's the class that we used.
Now, did you have to, because if other people are listening out there and want to do something like this, did you have to get approval from like the school district too?
We didn't actually get school district approval. We went to the principal of the school, and they're usually the ones that can make the decision as to whether or not we can do a program like this in the school.
Well, Dave's a two-time Ironman finisher going for number 3 here, and Chris is a one-timer going for number 2. And Chris, when this program was instituted in the school, did you guys set goals for the kids, or did they set them themselves?
What we did is we allowed the kids to choose either a health or fitness goal. That could be losing weight from a health side, or it could be running the mile, meeting a certain time in a mile. Some of the kids wanted to do a 7-minute mile or an 8-minute mile. One of the kids wanted to improve their jump for basketball. So we really let them set the goals based on health or fitness, and then we would work with them to kind of outline what they needed to do over the 6 months of our training to try and reach their goals.
We're talking with Dave Miller and Chris Elmer, and it's interesting, guys, because when you do that, you walk into the classroom for the very first time. Did you have shorts on? Did they see your shaved legs? What the heck are these two dudes doing? They're coming in the classroom, and then at one time you took equipment in there. So I can't imagine you taking your $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 bike into the classroom. Some of these kids, and most of them were Hispanic, probably seeing this type of equipment for the very first time.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first time they'd ever seen a triathlon bike. In fact, it was so much fun because we got the whole school involved. Their media department came out and interviewed us every time we were out there. They had cameras everywhere, and then in the morning, after our presentation, they would play that for the whole school so they could see exactly what was happening, because the interest at the school became so intense that all the kids wanted to hang out with the two triathletes and hear about what was going on. So
they couldn't even spell triathlete. Now they can at least spell it, huh?
That's right. And they know what a tri-bike looks like, and they know how our tri-bikes work compared to their regular beach cruiser, if you will. Well,
it's interesting, too, because when you do things with youth, they still have to have the adult, not only supervision, but support. Did you feel that the kids were going home and selling this to the parents, and did the teachers take it in? I mean, did they say, yeah, this is something we really want to do, and did the parents dive into it, too?
Well, the teacher, definitely Amy, which was their fitness and health teacher, she really took the program to heart, and they made journals, and she would work with them, and because we were doing video, the parents did know about it, and they were aware of it and signed waivers as far as being on video and doing things like that, and they really got into it. They took it well beyond what we thought it would be with making journals and sending us emails along the way. They would email us telling us when they met their goal and things like that. So
we had a couple students that actually come back in one of our classes, and their parents were not upset with us, but they physically said, well, we can't buy these things at the grocery store anymore, Mom. We have to buy the good foods. And so they were buying more fruits and vegetables, which they needed for their nutrition program. So it was really kind of cool to see the changes in the kids.
Well, that would be interesting, too, because you can teach them how to work out, give them training programs, but it's all about what they do 24 hours a day, and that's eat. So how were you able to, did you bring in certain foods for them to take a look at, or how did you do that on the nutrition side?
Yeah, on the nutrition side, we talked about, just the basic pyramid and, carbs and sugars and trying to eliminate, refined sugars from their diets and looking at what a regular soda is or even a Gatorade versus water and eating potato chips, looking at one of the kids loved hot Cheetos. So, that was the thing, looking at the calories that are in Cheetos and comparing that to, a piece of fruit or brown rice. And then we also did a tasting. We brought in some of the different foods we use as far as like gels and our drinks and power bars and things like that. And they all got to sample those and see what they taste like.
What do you think of like chocolate goo or power bar?
The goos were interesting. They were a little hesitant at first, but once they realized that they taste pretty sweet as far as the sugar, everyone dove in.
Jelly bellies were a big hit. Jelly
bellies.
Shot blocks.
That's like a real deal.
That's it. That's what you got to think.
Well, you had 28 kids in the program, and we're talking about the Adopted Athlete program that North America Sports instituted about 3 years ago, of going out to your community and trying to instill in your community, whether it's youth or adults, something great about Ironman, which is nutrition and training. Now, you must have had some success stories because 28 kids, some are going to do better than others. Tell us about some of your real success stories that stick with you.
Well, we had a lot of success stories, but we went back the final day, our final time at the school. We had a big celebration, and we brought in all kinds of nutritious foods for them to eat. And then we all sat around and talked about how well they did against their goals. We had one young lady who lost 15 pounds in the 5 months that we were there. Then we also had a couple of boys that took their mile times from about 9 miles down to 7:12, and were able to improve. And the nice thing about that is that they wanted to do it because they have a California standards test that they have to meet, and so they did it and met those goals. So it was really fun to watch.
And most likely, if you guys hadn't have been part of that, they probably wouldn't have met that goal. I mean, they wouldn't even have probably gotten close.
Yeah, it definitely helped them recognize by going over kind of what the California standards are, and meeting those, whether it was, some of them did, push-ups or jumps and running, and so it kind of brought to light what they needed to be able to do. So it really helped encourage them to get that done sooner than later.
With a program like this, you don't want to see, one time and out. So what's the follow-up? Is the PE teacher going to keep this type of program instituted within her class? Is the school going to be enamored by it? Are you guys going back? What's the follow-up?
Well, the follow-up is, we got more out of it than the kids did. Honestly, every time we leave the classroom, we'd sit in the parking lot, just like, oh my God.
Went for a 4-hour ride.
Yeah, exactly. We just finished our long ride, so we're going to definitely do it again. We're looking for other schools that might want to get involved, but Amy at the school is begging us to come back next semester. We're signed up right now for Ironman Arizona, which we'll see how that works here in
November.
Yeah. But so we want to try to get involved again, and NA Sports was great also because they provided lots of things for us to give away to the students, and the whole school wants us back.
That's great. That's great. It is the Adopt the Athlete program, and one thing that North America Sports would do, like Dave said, is be able to give a lot of goodies away, and the kids get turned on by that type of stuff. I mean, it is pretty amazing. Now, when you do a follow-up, I mean, if you go to another school, do you think you keep the program basically the same, or are there things you want to tweak and change?
I think the main program worked really well as far as having them learn what a SMART goal is and kind of following that. I think we learned, some different things as far as bringing equipment in and letting them try things out. One of the really neat things was letting them get on the bike, on the trainer with our bike shoes, and that really brought to light what it's like to be on a bike like that. And so the majority of the program, I think we definitely keep the same.
Yeah, one of the other things that we did too that we thought was really neat, the kids loved it, is we went to all our friends and our running communities and we got shoes. We got all their used shoes and shoes that they would normally just throw away or sitting in the closet. So we brought those in for the kids, and we laid them out on the table, and these kids...
If the shoe fit...
If the shoe fit, they got it. So it was the first time any of them had ever really seen a running shoe. They were running in Converse or in just sneakers.
Those
are things that we'll continue to do and try to find more things like that we can do to really engage the kids.
That's fantastic. The other thing, too, is when you go back, it's going to be, if you do go back to the same school, interesting to see if the kids have kept it up on their own. You think that'll happen?
Yeah, we definitely hope so, because the class was 7th and 8th graders, or was it all 8th graders?
7th and 8th grade.
So some of the 8th graders have graduated and are now in high school, so hopefully seeing us and doing the track and running out